Oasis TV, bringing worlds together.
What happens when we pursue this very American notion of success? Well, one of the books I brought in today, and I'm sure that many of you are very familiar with this person, Tom Chappell, who he and his wife, Katie, started Tom's of Maine. And Tom and his wife, he particularly, spent 15 years building this into a remarkably successful company. And the first 15 years, his main focus was all about what? Being successful. That was his whole thing. He wanted to be successful. And he made lots of money, and he did have a product that he was very pleased with, but after 15 years, you know what happened to him? He became really depressed. He was very unhappy. He was very disenchanted. Now, here's a guy who was doing, what you might look at and say is right work, right? And he was doing something that had a social conscience to it and what have you. But after 15 years, he was actually depressed, and he was thinking that it may be time to leave the business. He was actually saying to himself something he couldn't believe: money isn't everything. Because to him, money and success and being important and being famous and doing the things that he did and being influential was what drove him. Well, what happened to him is that he went to see his minister. And after seeing his minister and talking with him, he actually decided that it might be time for him to visit the Harvard School of Theology. They had an open house, where they invite people to come in, because his minister spoke with him and said, well, maybe your problem is a spiritual crisis. So he went to the Harvard open house and decided that he was going to go to the School of Theology. And after he went to the School of Theology and was exposed to many different ways of thinking, he came out and totally revamped the way he did his business. And he went from a success-oriented business to an integrity-oriented business.